You may have seen people talk about Notion, but you're not entirely sure what it is or why you should use it. So in this video, we explore all of these things. I'll show you 10 reasons why you should use Notion and how it's helped to change my life. Hello, I'm Sam. I explore systems that can help us achieve more than we realise is possible. We can't talk about systems without exploring Notion. But what is Notion? At a really basic level, it's a note-taking system that you can use to help take notes, store them, and organise them. It was founded in 2013 by Ivan Zhao and Simon Last. Originally, Ivan Zhao wanted to create a system that would allow people to create applications without knowing how to code. The only problem was that no one really wanted that. So they moved to Kyoto in Japan and created Notion. They both realised that computer systems hadn't really changed a lot from the time that we were using cabinets and documents. They noticed that software companies had essentially created digital versions of those cabinets and documents. This had created this fractured mess of different systems and apps and software that didn't properly work with each other. What if there was one app that could do everything that people needed to work together? And so Notion was born. So how does it work and how do you use it? Firstly, Notion brings everything together all in one place. I found that I had multiple lists and notes and documents, files and folders all over the place containing lots of different information. Notion lets me keep all of these in the same place. I can store lists of books that I've read, movies that I want to see, ideas, quotes, and so much more all in the same place. Number two, you can create checklists right within the document. You can technically create checklists within a Google Doc or a Word doc, but you might be unlikely to find it and open it each day. Whereas in Notion, because everything's in the same place, it's a lot easier to access things like checklists and actually use them on a daily basis. Thirdly, you can journal in Notion, and Notion has made it a lot easier for me to journal. It's a practice that I've always wanted to really get into, but never quite got around to. Notion has this feature, you can create a journal template and it will automatically create a page each day for you to use, and you can have prompts for you to fill in so that you're not just staring at a blank page every time you want to journal. Notion is really nicely designed. It integrates emojis in loads of the pages. You can have toggle lists to hide lots of scrappy information. And because it is designed so nicely and looks so great, it really makes me want to use it more regularly. Notion also automatically formats loads of your work. One of the major issues I have with Google Docs or Microsoft Word is formatting is often all over the place in terms of paragraph indents and different fonts and different sizes of fonts. In Notion, you only have one size of font and there's no way of changing it. You can have headings, but Notion really makes sure that everything looks good all of the time and you don't have hundreds of different options which then make your documents cluttered. You can't change the size of text, and I've never really wanted to. Notion syncs, so you can use it on your mobile, your iPad, your phone, your computer, and all of that information will be up to date all of the time, and it does it for free. You can also create pages that specifically work really well on mobile, a checklist for example. Notion can turn things into other things, and this might not make sense until you start using it, but let's say you had a list, for example, and then you decided that list needed to be its own page. You can simply select it and turn it into its own page. There are lots of other options for turning one type of thing into another thing that will make sense when you start using it. Notion also lets you create really nice tables of information. And you might think, well, I can do that in a normal document or I can do that in Excel, but Notion does it really nicely within pages. The real power comes from the fact that these tables can very easily be turned into databases. Why would you care about that? I could probably make 10 videos on the power of databases in Notion. I'll show you 2 key advantages in a moment. Let's say you wanted to start planning a holiday. You can start by listing the tasks that you need to complete, and then you can turn tables into Kanban boards. Once you've created a database, you can turn the same information into an incredibly powerful Kanban board. For those of you that use Trello, you'll know what this means, but essentially you can drag and drop information into different columns and it will automatically update the information in the original database. So for my holiday project, I can easily indicate if my tasks are in process or if I've completed them. And then, finally, number 10, you can turn the same information into a calendar. So you know what tasks to do and when. You can drag the same actions into dates in the calendar, and all of this automatically updates in the original to-do list. So Notion has replaced my personal tasks, Google Docs for my notes, and Evernote for my scraps of information. It's all in one place, beautifully connected and beautifully designed. What do you think you could use Notion for? Thanks for watching, love you.